where we've already been laughing up a storm and having a good time here today with each other. Thank you for joining in with us. And for our members that are here on Zoom, we have our Linda Lemieux in Florida. So glad you're back with us, Linda.
Well, thank you.
We have Charlie and Erica in New York, in Long Island, New York.
Hello, everyone.
We have Mary Lou in Boston.
Western Mass.
Sorry. I keep thinking of you with Boston, but I know it's not. It's in the western part of the state of Massachusetts. And we have our unidentified person that's with us. Who's hiding? There's somebody behind that mask, and I think it's our beautiful Auntie Jean.
It's so beautiful today. That's why she's got the mask on.
No, I'm allowed to play. Everyone else can play.
It's like magic, right? We have all this electronic stuff and we want to play with it and use it. So that's what I did, just to have fun and lighten up the energy. And this is our last day of talking about magic, which we have been working through individually. And it's one of those kinds of books. You just go at your own pace. You have whatever energy you put into it, that's what you're going to get out of it. And so just, what are you doing, Charlie? Don't run her away. We're so happy to have her here with us. We don't always get our beautiful Erica on the show.
There you go.
He's always mad at me for playing with the filters. He doesn't want the filters on.
I love it. I love all the colors. It's like a rainbow of colors.
Charlie is a rainbow of colors.
He is. So has anybody made it all the way through the book, Magic?
I think we're all stuck. We're stuck in the mud.
Okay, that's all right. It's one of those books. It was on my bookshelf for years. I did it I think 3 times in a row, went through the whole book, and then it's set up on the bookshelf. And so it's one of those books, though, that will draw you to it when you need it and for whatever lesson is needed out of the book. So let's talk about the lessons that you have worked through. And which one do you think spoke to you the loudest? Which one, if you had to choose a lesson that Rhonda taught us in that book, what was standing out to you more than anything else?
The whole concept of the book of having gratitude every day in our life is so important, I think, for us to remember. Just if you can wake up in the morning, she suggests that we take our rock, have a rock that we love, and put it in by our bedside at night, and be thankful for things that have happened during the day. And when you wake up in the morning, pick it up or just look at it and remember that it's a symbol to remind us to be grateful. And that has stuck with me, and I've done that, since the beginning of the month when we started the book. And even one day I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling grateful or thankful. I wanted to, but I wasn't. And I put the rock in my pocket that day, and I can't say it made a huge difference, but I made the effort, and I'm proud of myself for that. And I find that I'm doing that kind of thing more, and just trying to consciously decide to be thankful and grateful.
Yeah.
That whole message of gratitude.
Yeah, the rock definitely is, because you're looking for that day, what was the most grateful thing that you were grateful for? And, but I like just the whole concept of every day, the things, that you're grateful for, at night, like you're doing a rock, the one you're grateful for, but the other things you're grateful for, and that, like you would write down the next day or whatever, but, but not writing them down, but just, going through in your mind that, grateful this, that, and you're using all the practices that you learned, throughout the book, so it's.
Charlie, do you still have the dollar that you showed us in one of the previous things, and you put it right there and keep it in your wallet?
Oh yeah, I never give that one away. No.
Believe me, he will go to a store and get change first. I kid you not. He's like, oh, I can't spend that one. No way.
Is it a $1 bill, Charlie?
Yeah, that's a $1 bill. Yeah.
I have a $2 bill that has been in my wallet for probably about 8 years now.
Oh, okay.
I never take it out. Never take it out. And I was told, I don't even know where I heard this, but I was told that as long as that stays in the wallet, you'll never go without money. You'll always have other money there with it to join it. And that's true. It's been true for all those years. As long as I keep that $2 bill right there in the front.
He's got it on a 5. He lied.
Oh, it slipped to a 5.
It slipped to a, look at that, it multiplied. It slipped to a 5. Look at that, it's on a 5 now. Oh, Charlie, this one must be mine.
Even the dollar bill's gone. It went to a 5.
Read what it says, Erica.
That is magic, people.
Erica, read what it says.
It says, thank you for all the money I've been given throughout my life.
And it went from a $1 bill to a $5 bill.
I mean, granted,
That's
it's all
pretty
sticky, but yeah, it's on here pretty good. So it's magic.
It is magic.
Could have used the $100 bill.
I thought it was still on the dollar. It's on the 5.
That's some interest, right?
Now it's on the $5 one. All right.
That's a great manifestation, Charlie.
Exactly. Because I just went to get it out of the wallet. Now take it out. It's on a 5. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
No, mine didn't multiply.
Oh, you should check hers.
It will, Jean.
At
At least you'll never be without, though.
No, because I have a dollar.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jean, the secret is not to fold it. There you go.
Okay.
Leave it unfolded.
I'll have to get a different purse. Let me see.
Spend money on a purse.
No, it won't. It won't fit. See?
Aww.
Auntie Jean, keep it in your bra.
I didn't know that. It didn't say that. Sorry. I'll put you somewhere else. Okay.
Okay. No, I learned that in another manifesting course that I took.
Oh, okay.
Keep your money open so the energy can flow. You don't close it up. You leave it flowing open.
I better open all my money then, huh? Okay.
Yes.
I know you could get a coin dollar, Jean. Get a coin dollar, and then you don't have to worry about your purse.
Well,
Put a dollar coin in there.
What a great idea, Mary Lou.
Maybe that would work.
Full of ideas today.
Julia, who else has a $1 coin? Yeah. Good idea, Mary Lou. You are so smart.
Oh, some days it's just flowing good up there.
I haven't had one of those days in a long time.
Yeah, and
I
we
like
have
the
together
part
in a couple of weeks.
where
So
you
the
wrote
energy
down
flow.
the people that meant a lot to you.
Oh, the gratitude for
The
people.
gratitude for people, and it made you really realize that you should be more grateful for the people in your life.
Mhm.
And but it kind of makes me feel guilty because I always thought I was grateful. I mean, the whole book made me kind of feel guilty because I always thought I was grateful, and then I realized that I wasn't consciously really feeling the gratitude. So,
But I don't should be feeling guilty. That's human nature. You know, you have to be kind to yourself in that way, because I bet every one of us has felt, like we could do better. I know I have, I definitely know I could in relationships with those that I love the most, especially, those are the biggest ways, that it shows me that I need to grow, but don't feel bad, Jean, because the intention is to accept the way you are and grow from there. And you're beautiful. You're a shining light, even with that silly hat and patch on your eye.
You can
I love it.
see through the patch.
Oh, you can.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So maybe all the people who wear patches, they can actually. My hat's kind of weird. Look.
Yeah, your hat moves when you move.
Yeah.
Can you sound like a pirate?
No.
Right.
You know why the pirates had patches?
Why?
Because they would be down below in the ship and it would be totally dark, and they would come up and it would be totally bright. So they'd have a patch on, and when they would get in the sunlight, they changed the patch so they were still seeing dark, but they could see better while their sight. I don't know if I explained that right. That's what Diane Beiersdorfer said. They would change the patch when they came out and it was bright light. If they had to fight, they couldn't see anything.
That explains why her hair flips from side to side.
Good. Yeah.
So if you have the patch on the wrong eye, that's a good excuse.
I figured they just lost an eye. Right.
She was below deck.
Yep.
Uh-huh. And if you
Outside,
nodded,
it was a week.
I did love the book. I really do love it. I found it, I don't know how to say it right, but the fact that you have to do all these things every day, it got to where, I'd forget to do it and I'd forget to do it. And, and it doesn't seem like something you can go back and catch up on. If you forget to read a chapter, you can go back and read the chapter. But if you forget to write down all the 10 things you're happy for, then you can't go back for that day. You have to wait till the next day, or you do it at night. I don't know. I kept forgetting to do certain things.
Well, you just do them in your head every night, what you're thankful for. You don't have to write them down, as long as you know you're doing the practice, and
Well, that's true, Charlie. That's a good idea.
Yeah. And the one thing it says every action always has an opposite or an equal reaction.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you're sick or hurting or something, don't dwell on it. Think about when you're not sick and how you feel, and so to just learn to people always, when they're sick, they're like feeding into it, and not being grateful, for how they are when they're not sick, and so they'll feel better and get better quicker.
I think pretty much what I got out of it was that it's better to focus on what we do have instead of what we don't. Absolutely. So like if this foot hurts, that foot's fine. So thank God that foot's fine, and I could stand on that foot. And it got to be, for me, it got to be like some of the days were harder than others because they had longer activities to do. So just thinking about things that we were grateful for, and like the thing that I still do is I have my rock next to my bed, and I hold that rock at night, and I think about everything that happened that day that I'm grateful for and come up with, you know, what's the greatest thing. So you're actually like I am going through the day, you know, thinking of all the wonderful things that happened, which is a good way to go to sleep because then you're going to sleep on a positive, you know, note.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful, Erica.
Not as beautiful as you, Auntie Jean.
Oh,
And,
gosh.
and the other thing is, you know, it just, when you get behind one day and then you wind up being 2 days and it's different assignments. And like one day there was this massive assignment. I told Charlie, I think we should just start the whole book over again. And he was like, oh, no, we can't do that. But like, I feel like it's cheating if you don't, because like you can't just jump ahead. It makes you lost if you miss a couple of days. That's how I feel anyway. It makes me lost. Charlie here tried to finish a half a book 20 minutes before book club. We can go a little further. And it was, you know, like a speed reading thing.
Well, I just want to, you know, at least read them if I don't practice it. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, it puts that idea into your head about what you can do.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
But I think with any workbook, any book where you have constant assignments, be gentle with yourself. Life is happening. Enjoy the moments. If something comes up and it detracts you from doing that lesson for the day, so what? It's not life and death, you know, and be more gentle with yourself and say, it's okay that I missed that. It's okay. And no, I don't feel like you have to start the whole thing over. Just be gentle and say, okay, I didn't do that one today. And I'm fine with that. I'm okay with moving forward now. So with any workbook, I'm not talking about just this one. Anytime you're doing an ongoing routine, if something happens, it happened for a reason. So just don't beat yourself up over any of this stuff. It's all small stuff. Everything in life is small stuff.
And you know, another thing I've noticed about, and I think I only have one more chapter, one more practice to do, but actually they're not dependent on each other. You know, sometimes when you do a workbook, you have to do this step before you can do this step, or this step doesn't make any sense. But this one, it's like you could open it to, you know, the dust, the fairy dust, and you could do that one, and it's not dependent on the others. Or you could do the people that are important in your life, or the money, or whatever, and you could just do that one. So it doesn't necessarily have to flow lesson to lesson. So
I agree, Jean. I
Yeah.
agree with that. You know, I found that, you know, I took the rock part and made it a daily thing, but I can't sprinkle fairy dust on people all day, every day. My middle name is
No,
not
I
Isabel.
did it that week. That was funny.
But I do like that concept, you know, and it did come back to me, you know, a couple of weeks after I had first read it, you know, and I did think about it. I did, you know, not so much fairy dust, but, you know, blessings and caring thoughts and goodness for other people, you know, you know, and it did help me. There was a time when somebody was being very negative, you know, and I just thought, you know, I'm not going to embrace that with them. I'm just going to think positive things. And the next day I could continue the conversation with them in a positive light, you know, so the fairy dust was out there working for sure, you know, but yeah, I don't think we have to do every single piece of it every single day, all day long, because then it can turn into a little bit of a burden for us to try to remember all of that, you know, and absorb all of that. Yeah. So it's good, Charlie. You know, that's, you know, binge reading. They did that in college, right? That's been around a long time, you know, so whatever way we do it is fine. Yeah.
Even
But it
the
was
one that was just reading, and it had like 2 or 3 exercises, but one was recollect 3 separate times throughout your life when you felt on top of the world. and give sincere thanks, so, that was part of the health exercise, so looking like in your past and, so.
How are
Finding
you?
something good.
Right, exactly.
I'm sorry.
So,
How are you all doing with your hundreds? Is it 100 or 1,000 steps that you're supposed to do every day and say thank you?
I didn't do good with that one.
I did do good with that one.
I haven't
That's
either.
why.
I
we
do.
didn't get to that one, I don't think.
Oh,
Well, I like the fact of what I just recently started doing, which is make every step a prayer. And when you can visually see those steps becoming energy going down into the earth and saying thank you, Mother Gaia, that I'm walking on your back, and then take another step and thank the Creator that you're here in this place at this time. So that's how I've been doing mine. I don't count the steps. I just say the prayer as I walk along, and making each step a prayer is a routine that you can get into that is going to benefit you. It's going to lift you up with each step that you take. So I kind of adapted that one. I don't count them. I just do the prayer with each step.
yeah.
And my Fitbit is not working anymore. I'll say it that way, Charlie. Okay.
Thank you.
Charlie says things are dead now. He does. The iPad's dead. He'll say that.
I do
My
that.
Fitbit's dead. He will say
Okay,
it.
so I can use that word again. Thank you, Charlie.
Yes, you may.
No.
My Fitbit is dead, so it doesn't count my steps for me anymore.
Many steps that died. I never had a Fitbit or whatever you call it. Fitbit.
Fitbit.
Again?
Fitbit.
FITBIT.
Yeah.
Like bite. Ah.
Well, that's what I said. Anyway, so and for me, okay, this is going to sound nuts, but when I take a step, I usually have to be careful I'm not walking into the wall or tripping over a dog toy or, so to concentrate every time I take a step to say thank you or say a prayer. I've always taken the prayer thing kind of, because the Bible does say that you should, when you're on the road, you should be praying, you should be talking to your children about it, you should, and I've always took it as that your mind needs to be in a prayerful state, not necessarily praying, but in a prayerful state. And if you do that, then you're in divine protection. You're not going to have a whole bunch of bad things happen to you. So that's the way I've always taken it. So I just flunked that one because I'm not doing very well.
You're exactly right. And be grateful that you didn't run into the wall. And that's a prayer.
Please don't let me walk into the wall.
You guys should hear what Charlie says when he stubs his toe. Think about that. So you're grateful for not, you should hear him cry like a little girl because he stubbed his toe.
Well, I just stubbed my toe and broke it, Erica.
Yes, but he doesn't break it, Teri. You had to see him at the hospital taking the leads off from his pads when he had his colonoscopy. Oh my goodness. The nurse thought he was having a heart attack because he screamed so loud and it was just the pads coming off.
Pull their heads off.
Sounds like they woke you up too early.
Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? Well, I don't know. They're pretty lax about those leads. My husband, we were walking after he had his, and he looks down and he says, I got those things still on me. So he was pulling them off as we walked.
I've gone home with some on me before. Yeah,
Me
it's
too.
When he went to the ER after he swallowed his teeth, and I was here babysitting Christine, 3:00 in the morning, he comes in screaming on top of his lungs because there was one on his back and he was pulling it off.
think he just
So,
wants attention.
I have to tell you a quick story. It's a long story, but I'm going to give you the short version. My husband had to get an MRI very quickly, and he had leads on him from a surgery he had just had. They thought he was having a stroke, so they took him down to MRI. And I said to the guy, I went with him, I said, "Did you take the leads off?" And he said, "Oh yeah, I took them all off the front." I said, "He has some on the back." And he said, no, he doesn't. I said, "Humor me and check." So he did, and there were like 6 on his back. So they started to take him in the room. I went, wait, because an angel said left shoulder. I said, "You need to check the left shoulder." And he said, "How would you know that?" And I said, "Trust me on this one." So he looked and he was totally stupefied. And he said, "Yes, I have no idea why there would be one up there." So I saved him from an MRI with leads on.
Oh,
Yeah.
But it was an angel that said, "Check his left shoulder."
Mhm.
And the guy said, "How would you know? How did you know that?" And I said, "I got a little message." so
Just tell him an angel told me.
Well,
I should have
yeah.
told him that.
Mhm.
The angel whispered to me. So listen to your little whispers.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was his guardian angel that came over and whispered in your ear.
I guess so. Whoever it was, it worked.
Well,
I
I'm so
can't
glad
think
that
of
you
a,
guys- Go ahead,
I'm sorry.
Mary. Okay.
I can't think of a specific thing like that, Linda. I love that story. But
Oh.
you know, many times I've said to people, "Well, I sent my guardian angel to tell your guardian angel,
Mhm.
you know,
Uh-huh.
to take care of that, you know, or I felt like your guardian angel told mine to take care of that." I have had that kind of a feeling and a sense, you know, within circumstances over time. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think it's good, Jean, you know, to say that's my angels telling me that.
Good all the
You know,
time.
you know, because again, it's you know, the gratitude and the goodness of, you know, of that spiritual part of ourselves that, you know, I think back in many thousands of years ago, people weren't spoiled like we are, and they didn't have, you know, texting, and they didn't have writing. They had to use their words. And so, you know, they were free and they were more comfortable to talk about the spiritual piece of who we are, you know, and the angels certainly are a part of that.
Yes, they are.
Remember, Terry, when you were here and my angels told me to ask Charlie if the sprinkler was off, and he said it was. Next thing we knew, we were saturated, including
Be-
Terry's computer.
So, yes, even my computer.
And that was the first night we all met. Yep.
Yep, sitting out back under the full moon. I do
And
remember
the sprinkler went off after Charlie said, "Nope, they're off."
that. Yeah, but I know our spirit guides can go to other people. I've had a spirit guide and mentor named Chief for years. And then I met the lady that runs Love and Light Spiritual Emporium in Fort Lauderdale. And she started seeing Chief when I was around. She'd see him with her physical eyes. And then he started giving her messages for me. And I'm like, well, why doesn't he just tell me that?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, but sometimes they will use other people to get the message to us. If we're not
Yeah.
tuned in and listening, then they're going to say, "Hey, have her pay attention to this," or him, like the sprinklers, Charlie.
Yeah.
We have our Grace Isis joining us.
Oh, good. Hi, Grace.
Hi, Grace.
Hi, sorry, I'm on the same machine that doesn't allow me. How are you all doing? Love and
Good.
light.
No.
Love and light and laughter. I'm here. Oh, Mary Lou, I should be coming up to Massachusetts again. So I have to get in touch with you.
Okay, let me know when.
Yes, I will.
Okay, good. I'll look forward to joining you, even if we meet someplace halfway.
Okay, I will let you know. Thank you.
Okay, good, Grace.
Yeah. Hi, Erica.
Hi. How
Hi,
are
Auntie.
you?
Fine, hi, Charlie. I'm sorry, I'm full of giggles all the time.
Good. We need your
Good.
giggle.
Kind of giggle prone here too.
I know. So are we still on the book, or are we just doing some free floating time?
Both.
We've been doing a little of everything here.
Where are you at with the book, Grace?
Oh, don't even ask me. I don't know where exactly I am. I'm somewhere.
Well,
Too
what
many-
did you like about it?
You know, you all make me feel so good because I thought I was the only one, you know, with issues about the book. Not that they're, not, you know, I love the book, but I was having such a time getting through it and doing everything. And now that I find out that you all have been the same way, well, I don't know, Linda hasn't spoken up.
That's because I didn't do it at all.
Oh, well, there you
That should
go.
make you feel really good.
Yeah.
You should be floating now. I've been away so much I didn't even really get into it.
Mhm. I think it's I do enjoy it. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it sounds really good though. I think I will pick it up and just do it slowly at my own pace.
Yeah. To answer your question, Mary Lou, I do like it. I like it very much. And I always feel that I like to read spiritual enlightenment and guidance and, you know, spiritual books. And I do pretty much, there are some chapters, some days that are really resonating. For example, the magical way out of negativity, because I am surrounded always by negativity really it's from my family, but I like the guidance that it gives and the lessons. So, and I look at it as also it's a way of talking to myself, Grace, because yes, I may think that I don't go into negativity, but it just may not look like everybody else's, but it is. Sometimes it's just wallowing in a feeling or wallowing in oh, I wish I could do that I'm seeing somebody doing when I really can. So I like it, and I'm just taking my time, and I'm actually using it too as a tool for my family, for my sisters, because they're always saying, "Oh, I can't do this. This is too much. I've done it. I'm finished." And I'm like, "No, no, no. I don't think you're really finished because you took on that journey." So I like it a lot. I like it. I like it. It's also given me an understanding of the word magic. That magic does happen. It's just a word, but it's a vehicle to bring out some of these other depths of the spirit. And what's so wonderful is the little snippets of messages or sayings from some of these authors and public figures that we all know. I really love on page 1. I really love Roald Dahl. He was just my favorite writer, and all his books. And my favorite was the BFF, the Big Friendly Giant. This is BFG. And so hope that answers your question. But I'm still trudging along, but I do like it a lot. I enjoy it.
Oh, thank you, Grace Isis. Yes, I've loved this book since the minute I picked it up. But it is one of those that you have to make a commitment to. You know, so you don't do one page and then put it on the shelf. You maybe see if you can go through 2 or 3 pages, and then by then you're going to want to do more. That's the beauty of the book. It draws you into that energy of gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I have this book to thank for me writing one of my books, which is The Gratitude Vase, where every day you give gratitude for one person in your life, just one
Yes.
person. You don't have to list out a whole list of them. It's just every day you just sit and think, who do I want to send some gratitude to today? And I think this book itself was the motivating factor for me publishing that gratitude journal years ago.
Yeah.
So there's many things that can come forward when we get into the energy of doing the exercises and life-changing things like carrying around a dollar bill in your purse with that little writing on it, or having the rock by your bed and remembering to give gratitude because that rock is there. It just triggers that memory for you to give gratitude. So I'm glad that we did the book because I think it's helped all of
Thank you,
us.
Teri. You're right. It is. Yes. And I think it's one that will always be on our shelves. I know I will always pull it out. And even those of us who feel very anchored in our spiritual awareness, it really does make you re-examine, or it does remind you, it does take you into other things that maybe you have kind of overlooked or have put to the side, and it grounds you. I'm very thank you, and I thank Auntie Jean for getting me mine. So it's very precious times two.
Yeah.
You know, Grace Isis, since I've met you here on the Soul Food Book Club, one thing I noticed about you is you very often begin and end by saying thank you whenever you're expressing yourself to anyone. I've noticed that about you, and I love it about you. And you know, and it's like I think that every one of us here, you know, it's a soul food book club, and I think that we are people that are thankful naturally, and you know, and if not naturally, that we've come to that in our life over the process of time, you know. So in that way, this book, you know, is a very appropriate book for us here in the Soul Food Book Club. And I belong to Weight Watchers in my community here in this area. I just started up this past month again, and I talk about our Soul Food Book Club, you know, because it's food, Soul Food Book Club. And I tell them, you know, oh, we're on this book called Magic, and we should be thankful every day. And so I feel like I'm living some of the suggestions, you know, and I'll read to you one of the things that I had written down from the beginning of the book. Gratitude will change your life. Thank you must become the two words you deliberately say and feel. Words more than any other words. The more gratitude you will feel, the more abundance you receive. You know, and it's true, right? That just does happen. You know, if you're sharing out gratitude, if you're thankful yourself, other people feel that thankfulness. I think they experience it actually.
It's so funny to add on to Mary Lou, that exact passage of of abundance. I read it in my Bible last night. I think it is Isaiah or Chronicles or something, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So, and it's actually on page 151 of the book. But I want to tell you a little story. I do have a habit. So I was on the phone with my partner who passed, and I was in New York, and he was talking to me, and I think I was coming from a gathering in the evening, and I was taking a cab, and I reached my destination, and I as I was paying, he could hear everything, and he says, "My goodness, do you know how many times he said thank you?" Because I was in the car and I was telling them, "So how much do I owe you?" "Okay, thank you." And then I'm like, "All right, thank you so much. Yeah, that will be fine. Thank you, thank you, thank you." So you must have said thank you like 10 times to the poor taxi driver. So I was like, so after that, I'm so conscientious of it. But sometimes I'm not. I'll just be, thank you. But I also have this habit of even the police person, you know, who's on the street. I see them, and sometimes they're just standing there and they're looking, and I'm like, I just want to thank you for what you do. Yeah. You know, and that has been my basis. And in Kenya, it's terrible in Kenya because the dollar is not that much. It's a lot of money in Kenya. So $5 is a lot of money. So I go around and the people will bag the groceries and I'll give them like 50 cents. And so everybody's, and I'm like, thank you, because I know how it is there. But it's, thank you, Mary Lou, for telling me that. And
I love it that you say thank you all the time. I love that. Because how many times in our world are other people saying the opposite? You know, and that's what we're all about, is to bring peace and love to one another. And those two words there, I mean, when we're children, I taught my kids, what are the magic words? Please and thank you. You know, I think we kind of grew up with that, and it's not a bad thing to keep remembering as adults.
It's so true. And it reminded me, I'm sorry, when Grace Isis was talking about thanking the policeman on the street, one of the best experiences I remember recently is I was getting coffee in a convenience store, and there was a policeman there getting coffee as well. And he'd passed something to me along the way or something, you know, that just being cordial. And this guy walks up to him, coming over and just said, I just want to thank you for doing what you do. And that just touched me so much, just that somebody just came just to say that, not to ask for anything or, you know, to tell about a concern, but just to come and give gratitude. It really does lift the vibration when that happens. So thank you, Grace Isis, for doing what you do.
Thank you.
And it's more than the saying of thank you. It's the feeling, you know, that, you know, it's like, well, if you're on the telephone and you say thank you, I love you, and somebody says, oh, thank you, I love you, you know, you got to feel it, you know, you know, that's why when somebody says, I say thank you, I wait a minute and I feel it, you know, and they're like, what? And I tell them, no, you got to feel it. You just can't say it. You got to feel it.
Hi, Ali.
So
That's what I was going to bring up, was that Charlie had told us a while back, not in this book, but another book. He said that like 5-second rule to wait for that genuine feeling that you have or they have when you say thank you. And I think that's what this book has done, is kind of made me, I won't say us because I don't know about you, and obviously Charlie already knows. So, but to have that period of real gratitude before you say thank you. And then I think you said, tell them what you're thanking them for.
Yes.
Not to say thank you, but you really helped me. You really provided me with good information. You really showed me what I need to do. Thank you for that. You know, not just because that shows them that you do appreciate what it is that they did. So, you know, it's, but I don't think that they had anything about Charlie saying that.
the dogs agree with you.
Chiming in and telling us also that it's time to get off the air.
Oh, we gotta discuss what we're gonna read.
Okay. We can do that on the air, or we can do it after we go off the air, whichever you all prefer.
Well, okay, you can get off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I haven't looked
Just
to see
a
if there's
sneak
anybody on
preview.
right after us.
A sneak preview of what we're considering is a wonderful invite to anybody who's
I love
interested in
you.
joining our club.
Hi, Christine.
Hi,
Hi.
Christine.
Everybody tell me I'm way hot out there. Yeah, that was all the commotion. Christine got dropped off.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
All right, and Mary Lou, I didn't hear all that you said.
I said just a little sneak preview of one of the books we're considering. It might be one that you really want to participate in if we go in the right direction that I'm thinking. And we'd love to invite anybody who would be interested, you know, in our book club to come and join us. We have a great time both on on camera and off. And so I would like to invite anybody who might be just listening to us, come and join. There's a little Zoom number that it's easy to type the number in and follow along. And, you could be incognito even that way, if you want to. But, we're all just, come as we are, and so we'd love to have anybody who's listening join us. Right?
Right.
Yes, thank you, Aunt Mary Lou. Yeah.
The more the merrier.
Yeah.
And do we know the next book? Are you going to put it on the list, the message?
We're gonna talk when we get off the air.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
We're going to ahead and get off the air in case somebody else is coming on the channel after us.
Okay.
And let's just leave everybody with
Namaste,
we'll let you all know what the book is and come join us next week. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.